Teachers of Reddit, what's the craziest rumor you've heard about a student that turned out to be true? A group of giggling 12-year-olds in my class told me that one of their fellow students wasn't in today as she was pregnant. I phoned home, fully expecting this to be some stupid rumor started by the kids on the school bus that morning. But no, my 12-year-old student was not only pregnant, but had actually given birth in her bedroom during the night. She was a little overweight anyway and wore big baggy jumpers. Everyone did back then, so nothing unusual there. So no one noticed at all, and she told no one, claiming she had no idea. I'd taken them all on a school trip to Alton Towers theme park the day before, and she'd been on all the roller coasters and rides. No wonder she gave birth. I heard a rumor, from other staff members, that an exceptionally bad kid chose to misbehave because he was dying of cancer. It turns out the kid was told in 2nd grade that he had 6 months to live. Despite having missed half the year, the school shuffled him along to the next grade so he could stay with his friends, trying to not ruin his limited time on Earth. However, he continued to miss tons of school for treatment, and continued to not die, despite doctors estimating his time remaining to be very short. He continued to be shuffled along in school, until suddenly he found himself in high school and almost illiterate. So he acted out and misbehaved, and when teachers tried to discipline him, he would scream, "I'm dying," to try to guilt his way out of punishment. One of my students came back to school in August with a dress and a sign saying she is trans. Coolio. No big deal. And then she left for 2 weeks. In America, if a student is gone for 2 weeks, there is going to be some form of talking to the parents. One of her friends told my coworkers and I to not bother because her family moved to Sweden. We thought the kid was joking, but a quick check on Facebook showed that the family moved to Sweden and never told anyone. No one has heard of the family since. There are minor activity on Facebook to show that they are alive and breathing, but aunts, uncles, and grandparents have not heard from the family since. We don't know if the trans thing and the sudden move are connected. I used to work with students at a construction college who were aged between 16 to 19. Shortly after a new intake, I overheard a couple of the new learners calling one of the others bank robber. I asked them all to stay behind to talk to them about appropriate names, ensure there wasn't any bullying going on, etc. The young man in question seemed extremely well-mannered and had what I can only describe as a baby face with a cheeky grin. Turns out he actually had a criminal record of trying to hold up a bank with his dad using garden implements. I had no words. So-and-so brought a gun to school before break. He had a kill list and everything. But security caught him. That's why he isn't here. As soon as she said it, I asked her to stop spreading rumors like that. I told her that if someone had brought a gun to school, then the administration would have told the teachers about it. Nope, the rumor was true. Kid brought a gun to school and security caught him. But the administration decided not to tell any of the teachers about it. And the kid was only suspended, not expelled. So he was back in the classroom by the end of the week. A student who kept falling asleep in class and not doing work said it was because bad guys were after him. It turned out, his best friend had been shot and killed in front of him, and he was so traumatized he was losing sleep and thought he would be next. His family couldn't afford anything beyond school counseling and shuffled him off to live with grandparents in another state. Both kids were 8 years old. George burnt down his apartment building. I was teaching a grade 4-5 split in a low-income area. A lot of the kids lived in the same apartment, which was government housing. One weekend, that building burned down. Mercifully, no one was killed, but well, it was still really devastating, obviously. There was this one boy in my class, George, who, the following Monday, all the kids were sort of avoiding, and being kind of mean to, and I heard them whispering that he had burned down the building, which I thought was nonsense. He was kind of an odd kid, so I thought they were just picking on him, and felt super bad for him all morning. Come lunch break, I'm in the staff room, and of course, it is all the teachers are talking about. And it turns out the rumor is true. George burnt down the building, but it wasn't like he just set a fire. It was actually really depressing. I mean, more than it would have been normally. His mom worked nights, and there was supposed to be someone to look after him that night. But the babysitter was late, so the mom called her at home. But there was no answer, so she figured the babysitter was on her way. This is a while ago, before cell phones were ubiquitous. Like, this is about 15 years ago. So, middle-class people maybe had a cell phones, but very few of the people in this neighborhood did. She left, figuring the babysitter would be there soon. But she never showed up. I never learned why. The babysitter was fine, she just never showed up. George got hungry and decided to cook himself supper. Figuring he'd seen his mom do it hundreds of times, he could figure out the oven. And yeah, there was a fire that then burned down the entire building. I have a good one. It's not one single rumor. But the rumors about this girl were out of control for a 2 to 4 month period of the school year. Girl at party had regrettable sex and claimed she was raped. Everyone believed her basically, except a few people who believed accused guy. One day during school, she had apparently asked for a pass to go to the bathroom. She met some other guy, not party guy, in one of the locker rooms at school to have sex with him. Some random person happened to go into the locker room and saw them. The person recorded what they saw and never told anyone. Later the girl claimed raped by locker room guy after he didn't want to date her or something. Out of nowhere the person with the video came forward. She had to be on a safety plan because people hated her guts, and clearly the second rape claim was false, and then no one believed the first one either, so that guy was vindicated. She ended up transferring. High school teacher. There was a rumor that a student was actually a model for Teen Vogue. I honestly believed it because she was a stunningly beautiful girl, and a top student, kind to everyone, responsible, tall, and had really striking model cheekbones. One day the class is making collages and going through magazines. Sure enough, one kid finds the latest Teen Vogue in the stack. "Hey, Savannah, is this you?" she asks, pointing to a picture of a girl in a prom dress. Savannah looks up and squints. "Yup, that's me," she says, smiling. Very matter of fact. "For real?" the class chimes in. "Not kidding. That's really me." And she pulls out her phone with the galley proofs her agents sent her to prove it. She was really humble about it. The class was starstruck for about 10 minutes, and then got back to work. Savannah was a good sport. White daughter from a prominent local family attending a mostly black high school. Cheerleader, student government, model student by anyone's measure. Rumors circulate she had sex with 4 basketball players at a party in full view of several people. Rumors spreads like wildfire for a number of obvious reasons, to the extent faculty and parents start hearing about it. Prominent parents hire people to look into the slander and potentially sue those who started it. Worked with the administration to campaign against bullying via rumors. Video of said event surfaces via the guy investigating it. Family moved to a different town in shame. Male student was sharing porn at school. Once confronted, he said, "I just wanted to show them my sister." Parents confirmed that the actress was indeed his sister, and that they were very proud of her success. Not a teacher, but there was a rumor senior year that a girl was blowing her boyfriend in the parking lot before school every morning, and it became so prevalent that even the teachers knew about it. School administrators finally investigated it, and it turned out the girl really was blowing her boyfriend in the parking lot before school every morning. The culinary teacher who just had kids with her husband, and the biology teacher were caught making out by a student during an event. It was confirmed by them soon after. I saw on Facebook recently that now they're married. Honestly, they look really happy. Not really strange, but I was watching the Olympics where a female runner won gold. Recognized her as my student. Turned out the whole class were elite athletes. And that info was not really converted to me, or I missed it, angry face. My student was involved in an interstate gun trafficking ring. He acted a bit more mature than some of my other students, and was one of my best writers, great handwriting too. Then the police came into school and arrested him. Sorry if I'm not a teacher, but in college everyone was saying one of my classmates was a Spanish prince. Turned out to be true. That he was on trial for killing his father. Turns out he in fact killed his father. High school math teacher here. Several years ago, I had a student who I suspected of constant academic dishonesty, cheating. One of my colleagues felt the same. Neither one of us could ever catch him, came close, couldn't quite nail him. The kid graduated near the top of his class, apparently cheating his way there. So many of them do. The student went on to Texas A&M, and we all moved on from him. Lo and behold, the guy made the 6 p.m. news for trying to steal a professor's test key by crawling through an AC vent into the professor's office. He fell through the ceiling and was arrested. Vindicated. What is the craziest rumor of a student turned out to be true? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.